Smithville is the most misunderstood town in the Kansas City area, and depending on who you ask, it's either the next big thing or the place that longtime locals think newcomers are about to ruin. Today, we're breaking down the truth. We're diving into what living near downtown Smithville is really like. The charm, the growth, the lake, the restaurants, the pros, the cons, the things locals love, and the things they only complain about when the camera's off. And toward the end, I'll show you a real example of a home just minutes from downtown so you can see exactly what living here looks like. Stick around because I'm going to say a few things about Smithville most agents avoid on camera. Hey, if you're new here, I talk all about living in Kansas City and the communities around it. I'm Joe Nelson, a retired 21-year Air Force veteran, lifelong Kansas City local, and leader of Kansas City's highest-rated real estate team with more than 1,100 five-star Google reviews. I actually grew up about 10 minutes from Smithville and spent most of my childhood out near Smithville Lake. If you're thinking about moving to this area or starting your research, you're in the right place. If you think Smithville is just that tiny lake town, you're dead wrong. Downtown Smithville is not what people think, and some KC suburbs should honestly be embarrassed by the comparison. Downtown is small, walkable, and has this slower, friendlier, old school feel. And I mean that in the best possible way. It's the kind of downtown where people still wave at you, hold doors open, remember your coffee order, and where you'll start recognizing familiar faces after just a few visits. It's simple, charming, and refreshingly authentic. Everyone says small towns have terrible food and nothing to do, so let's settle that right now. One of the hubs of downtown is Cornerstone Coffee. It's warm, cozy, and feels like the heartbeat of this little community. It's where locals start their day, where remote workers grab a table, and where conversations seem to naturally happen. For dinner, Gizmos is one of my personal favorites. It feels more upscale than your typical small town bar or restaurant. You can get a great cocktail and really good food, or you can grab a beer and watch the game. It works for everything: date night, casual night, or a quick bite after work. And then you've got Welco Brewing, the local craft brewery. It's relaxed and welcoming. They've got great beer and they often host live music. It's one of those places where you'll fit right in, even if it's your first time walking in. And this is just scratching the surface. Downtown has more spots popping up every year. Smithville Lake is the best lake lifestyle in the Kansas City metro, and nobody wants to admit it, but it absolutely crushes other suburbs' amenities. The biggest draw for Smithville has to be the lake. Smithville Lake is the entire heartbeat of this area, and it's the reason so many people leave bigger KC suburbs and head north. And here's the part most people don't know. Smithville Lake didn't even used to exist. Smithville flooded constantly until the Army Corps of Engineers stepped in, acquired the surrounding land, and built this lake as a massive flood control project. And because it's a core lake, you will never see homes built on the shoreline. That land is permanently protected. That untouched, open feel is exactly why so many people fall in love with this place. And I'll be real with you, the lake isn't just something I talk about, it's part of my life. I spend a huge chunk of my summer weekends out here on my pontoon boat, tubing with my kids or beaching on the sandbars with friends. This is hands down my favorite summer activity in the entire Kansas City metro. If the sun's out, there's a good chance I'm somewhere on this lake. If you're more into recreation, the lake delivers. You've got miles of paved trails, mountain biking trails, horseback riding trails, and a full disc golf course. And golfers love the two 18-hole golf courses at Paradise Point. They sit right on the water with some of the best lake views you'll find anywhere in Missouri. And if you like camping, there are tons of tent sites and plenty of RV hookups. It's one of the only places in Kansas City where you can boat, hike, bike, camp, golf, fish, and ride horses all in the same weekend. People argue about Smithville schools nonstop, but here's what actually matters if you're moving here with kids. The Smithville School District consistently ranks as one of the stronger districts in the Northland. It's smaller and more personal than the massive districts closer to the city. With one high school, one middle school, and multiple elementaries, kids get a more connected environment. One of the biggest benefits families talk about is that kids can actually participate in activities, even if they didn't start playing their sport when they were 5. Academics are solid, families are involved, and the reputation alone is a huge reason people choose Smithville. Now let's talk about the real stuff, the things people love in Smithville and the things they complain about when the camera's off. Smithville is a great place to live, but it's not perfect, and you deserve the honest version. It's a small town. That means fewer big box stores, fewer restaurants, and fewer immediate conveniences. You've got the essentials, but if you want Target, Costco, Walmart, or a huge selection of dining options, you're driving 15 to 25 minutes or more. Some people love that slower pace, others find it limiting. Jobs inside Smithville are limited too. Most people commute to other parts of Kansas City for work. The upside is that the commute is easy and avoids major interstate traffic, but the reality is you're still commuting. Smithville is growing and is going to continue to grow. New neighborhoods, New businesses, new infrastructure, it's all happening. And as Kansas City keeps expanding north, the gap between KC and Smithville is going to keep shrinking. Some locals are excited about the growth, but a lot of others wish the town could freeze in time. You'll feel both perspectives immediately when you talk to residents. And lastly, Smithville is less diverse than many Kansas City suburbs. If diversity and representation matter to you, I'm happy to send you links to the public data so that you can dig into the numbers and make the right call for your family. But it is something to be aware of, especially if that's important to you. Before we wrap up, here's what homes near downtown Smithville actually look like. No filters, no fluff. As you're learning about downtown Smithville, it really helps to see what the homes here are like. So let me show you one that sits just minutes from everything we've been talking about. 206 Liberty Road, one of our team's newest listings. This is a 4-bed, 3-bath ranch with a finished walkout lower level. You've got a long front porch, an accessibility ramp, and a layout that makes life simple with everything on the main level. It's a 1990s home, and to be upfront, it could use some updating, but it's been well cared for, the bones are solid, and the space works really well. The lower level gives you extra living space, a bedroom, a full bath, and direct walkout access to the backyard. But what makes this home stand out, especially in Smithville, is the detached 24 by 31 foot garage. This isn't just a garage, it's a workshop, a boat storage dream, a project space, a gear locker, and probably the place you'll spend half your weekends if you're into lake life. And the wide driveway gives you room for friends, family, and all your toys. If you want all the details on this home, there's a link in the description. Listen, if you're seriously thinking about making a move to Smithville, whether it's downtown, near the lake, or somewhere in the Smithville School District, don't try to piece everything together from YouTube. My contact info is on the screen and in the description below, along with the link to everything on 206 Liberty Road. Reach out anytime. I'm happy to talk through your goals, your commute, your budget, and we can drive around town together so you can see everything we've talked about firsthand and get a real feel for Smithville. You've got a friend in the real estate business, and I'll see you next time.